Hey everyone, welcome to Epics R Us, episode 3. This is Valinet of the Tyrannus server.
Hey everyone, this is Aeonknight of the Tyrannus server from the WoWGoldTitans.
Yeah, speaking of gold, why don't we finally do our first episode on gold making. So episode 3 is gold making. We're going to start with the time-sensitive information as the expansion Wrath of the Lich King is ending, and what you can do with the decreased value of mats as we go into Cataclysm, next expansion.
Yeah, but before that, let's go into a little history about what our guild was before we decided to open it up as an actual raiding guild and casual guild. We were just going to use it as like extra bank space, to hold our mats. And of course, once we make a ton of gold, store it, because the cap was 214.
Yeah, that way we could share gold between the two of us, even if one of us wasn't on, because there's only two. We can't be on 24 hours a day.
So that's what Gold Titans was really set up for. And so we weren't really intentionally trying to make it a guild that was going to raid and do PvP.
But then once we were ready to start a guild, we already had this great guild bank set up with all the tabs, a whole bunch of money in it. We said, let's just use this. It's very convenient. It's already set up. Got a good stash. So, we'll let people draw from that, once they've earned the right.
Yeah, exactly. And then just to give you guys a good idea of how proficient we are at gold making, my paladin alone has made about 48,000 gold just on his own. Then on my druid, that's another 23,000 gold, and then on my death knight is another 22,000 gold. So adding all that up, I've almost made 100k gold all on my own.
Nice.
With my professions, selling stuff on the auction house, gold farming, like the right way and the legal way.
Yeah.
So just recently, last night, I just bought my second Traveler's Tundra mount for my druid.
Yeah.
I forgot to forgot to record a video, but I have the screenshot showing that I have the achievement, and you will see that mount when I release some.
Yeah, it's got a mount, so.
Yeah, so it's there, and then I have the bike mount on my paladin, and I also have the Traveler's Tundra mount on my paladin. So Valinet has the Traveler's Tundra mount.
Yeah, I've got the Tundra mount on my mage. I've got the bike on my mage, because, my mage is the one hunting the achievements and wants all the mounts. My mage has bought all but one tab, and I think it was tab 2 or 3, of the guild bank's tabs. So that's a whole bunch of money there. And then I've bought epic flying, put epic flying on my warrior. I have many alts with dual spec when it was still 1,000 gold to dual spec. Now it's only 100.
Yeah, that's a little easier on your pocket.
Yeah.
But, so we're very proficient at making gold. So we're going to actually be giving you some gold making tips right now. Gold making tip number 1. Use your professions to the fullest.
Yes.
Get
if they're not maxed,
level.
get maxed.
Yeah, seriously, get max level. My paladin right now is a blacksmith and a jewel crafter. He started off as a miner and a jewel crafter. Jewel crafting alone has made me a ton of gold.
Yeah, and professions is not something that, the hardcore player does. It's something you can do, and sometimes it's a lot of fun. Going around to the different areas, getting all the mats, although it may take a lot of time, it can be fun. And if you've got a gathering profession, level that up so that when you get to Kata, you're already set to go.
Yeah, especially gathering professions. Gathering professions can always make money.
Yeah.
Why? Because everyone needs mats. Because not everyone has, gatherers or has a tune that is gathering and crafting.
Yeah.
So
skinning, mining, and herbalism. You should have at least one tune with one of those.
Even enchanting, because you don't need a gather, but when you pick up a green or blues that no one needs and is not going to, try to roll for, and you win it, that's mats for you.
Yeah, you might get lucky running through the dungeon finder and having someone else in the group as an enchanter, winning mats that way. But if you want a steady income of enchanting mats, have your own enchanter.
Oh, and then another thing: when Cataclysm is released and the guild rewards start
Going live.
Going live, yeah, going live. Thank you. You will actually get a bonus to gathering. So if you mine a single node and normally you get about like 2 or 3 ore, you might end up getting 6, maybe 7.
Yeah.
If you disenchant a purple item and you're only going to get 1 abyss crystal, you might walk out with 4 or 5.
Yeah, and then even crafting, I think take less mats, maybe?
Some will take less mats, some will proc more often. So
there you go.
It just depends on what bonuses your guild purchases.
Yeah, and every time you craft something, you'll be earning points for your guild. So your guild will be getting more guild points that they can spend on achievements and rewards. So you craft, you quest, you level. Just basically playing the game, you're gonna earn credit for your guild.
Yeah.
So the more stuff you're doing, the more credit your guild is getting, and the bigger it can be, and the more rewardful it can become.
Yeah, and then going back to gold making, but still along the lines of guild rewards, you can actually purchase a guild reward where whenever you kill something and you loot like a certain amount of gold, you will put a small percentage of that, like an extra percentage of that will be generated and will be put towards your guild bank already.
Yeah, so you looting the body is still going to be giving you 100% of what you looted. But then an additional 5, 10, 15, whatever
I think
your
it's
guild...
about, it starts off as like 5%.
Yeah, so an extra 5% of that goes to the guild bank. So you have 100% of what you looted, and the guild gets 5% extra.
Yeah, and mind you, this is only in terms of gold or just any form of currency, be it copper, silver, or gold.
Yeah, but not grays and stuff that you sell. That's
Yeah.
for you alone.
And then speaking of grays, don't be stupid. Loot your grays because they vendor for a lot. There have been many times where I'm out gold farming for about an hour or, power leveling one of Val's alts through an instance. And I'm looting up the grays, and sometimes I walk away with about 50 gold earned just by selling stacks of grays.
Just from the useless items. I mean, that's why they're gray. They're not useful anymore. Pick them up and sell them.
Yeah.
Make it a habit.
And please don't list them in the auction house. We hate seeing that.
That's just funny.
Don't try to trick auctioneer. It's annoying. Another gold making tip. If you're really not proficient in terms of
Working the auction house?
we would recommend picking up add-ons such as Auctioneer. It's a great add-on. It provides a lot of information, helps you price your items a little better.
Yeah, if you're still new at auction house, it might be too much information. Mm-hmm. So be careful, be prepared.
And then if you want something a little more light, not so much information heavy, I recommend Auctionator.
Yeah.
I mean, Valinet picked it up after the patch because it was the only auction add-on that was working.
Yeah, it was still working, yeah.
But that's how he made that 700 gold within the first 5 hours of the patch being released.
Yeah, okay, I want to put up Glyph of Rupture. Oh, there's one up there for 37 gold? Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I'll put mine up for $36.99.99.
Yeah.
And then, since it was cheaper than the one before it, that's what people bought.
Yeah. So, I mean, I highly recommend Auctionator over Auctioneer just for the fact that looking for undercuts...
To the point.
Yeah, it's more to the point, and you can check for undercuts quicker.
Yep.
Cancel your auction and then relist at a lower price. You can even set like your maximum undercut limit. So like, let's say someone put like an item for 500 gold, you can undercut for just 1 copper.
Yeah.
Which in most cases works.
Yeah, sometimes it's enough. Although, sometimes when I buy an item from the auction house, I will see that someone undercut player B by 1 copper. So instead of buying player A's item, the cheaper one, I'll pay 1 extra copper and buy player 2's and make player 2 happy. Player B.
Or if you really want to work the auction house, which Val and I have both been accused of every once in a while, We buy up the cheap items because some people are just noobs and don't realize how much things go for and try to sell things quick, which it works.
Yeah.
But we end up making the profit of it because we buy the cheap items and relist them for higher.
Yeah.
Then everyone sets it or scales it down from our price.
Yeah.
There have
Sometimes it takes a while for people to, keep listing it higher. But yeah, if you have the money, you can make more money.
Yeah.
By buying a whole bunch of small items.
And all of this is legal. You're not doing it illegally.
Yep.
You're just working the auction house in a smart way, smart and effective way, to make sure you maximize your gold gaining potential.
All right. And then the other thing with that auction house theory, if you've got a whole bunch of enchanting mats, you can sell them. You might make more money selling actual enchantments on the scrolls, since they're consolidated now.
Mm-hmm.
Selling individual enchantments now through the auction house.
Versus trying to sell just the mats alone.
Yeah, because if you throw up 50 greater cosmic essences, too much supply, people aren't going to buy it. But if you put up 5 scrolls of one...
Using those 50 greater essences.
Like
cosmic essence.
plus 10 to stats or something on your chest, you might make more money than selling all 50 greater cosmic essences.
Sorry, but what Valve meant was you could take your enchanting materials and use it as enchants on like scrolls, or just even like spam it in trade that you have mats and you're willing to sell the enchant for a specific price. And yes, we do know that powerful stats chest takes 4 abyss crystals and 4 large stream shards. He just kind of messed up a little bit there, but we got it on lock.
Yeah, if you hang with me in Vent or see me in guild chat, I will repeatedly every night go, hey, what was I doing in Stranglethorn Vale? I knew I was coming here for a reason, but now that I'm here, I don't know what I'm doing. But I knew I had to come here.
Yeah, I kid you not, last night he got confused for about 15 minutes, asking everyone on guild, on Vent, messaging me on private message, on Whispers. It's like, dude, I forgot what I was doing.
Yeah.
Loot cards?
Yeah, it finally jogged my memory. I'm like, okay, I'm not here for any gear. I'm not here for any rep and Zulgrub. I don't need to go to Booty Bay to go to the bank. What possibly could I be here for? And then right under my monitor are the loot cards. And then, Aeon reminds me, oh yeah, weren't you going down there to redeem your loot cards? I'm like, oh yeah, that's it.
Well, actually, the way I reminded was, all right, dude, when you're done putting in your loot cards, meet me in Zulgrub. And so he finally figured out, that's what I was trying to do.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought you would have figured it out by now since you are there.
Because I have so many projects that I'm working on that I get distracted so easily. Especially now that I have the 2 monitors. As I'm traveling one place, I go and start something else on the other screen.